Hey, Colorado Springs. This is Jenny Bayless, and we are back with part 2 of our mini series for 5-year holds and just going over kind of what it's like to hold a property for 5 years and some of the you know good things and bad things, and just kind of going over different types of expenses and how your revenue might change. So, I like this property in particular that we're going to go over today because we don't have any of our own cash into this one. Um, and it's been relatively easy. We've actually had the same tenant live there since when we bought the house. Like, she lived there prior to us purchasing it, and she still lives there today. She just loves the house. So it's been kind of an easy management for us. So just kind of wanted to go over that. Um, we bought this house in a similar house in a part of an estate sale, and so we were able to get a pretty decent deal on it. Um, just like rough estimates for what I can remember on this one. We bought it for it was like 110 thereabouts. And got a hard money loan to buy it. I got a hard money loan for 120,000 because we thought that the ARV was going to be about 160, 165 on it. And so we were able to use that to purchase the property, some closing costs. And then at the time of purchase, which was in 2017, we had just done some exterior renovations to the home. New windows, new doors, new garage door, new gutters, new exterior paint, that sort of thing. Fix up, some of the wood rot around the outside of the house. So just fix that up, and sure enough, it appraised for what we needed to. I think at that point we were able to do a rate and term refinance, if I'm remembering correctly how this all worked out. So again, always talk to your lender as to how you want to, how you're able to structure this. But basically, what we did is we were able to take that hard money loan of 120 and then convert that into a 30-year fixed loan. And just a rate and term refinance. We didn't pull any cash out, so there wasn't a seasoning requirement. And in doing so, our lender actually let us do 85% LTV in that case, if I remember how that worked out. It's been a while, and so some of the details are a little fuzzy, but I'm pretty sure that's how that all transpired. And then so yeah, just kind of going in 2018, that's our first full year of owning this home. Rents were really, really under market value. Goodness, I think they were under like $900. I think they were 8 something. Really, really under market value. And so we have rental income of about 11,500 for the year. Some cleaning expenses, cleaning and maintenance expenses. I do remember we had to do quite a bit to get this house, up and running in a good condition. So, and I would actually say it's in a great condition right now. We've done a lot to it. So, we did a lot of, and with the tenants, she really was excited about making the house beautiful as well. So, we did a lot of painting. We painted the whole house while she's lived in there. We replaced all of her carpet with like nice laminate flooring throughout, upgraded appliances, all that good stuff. So she's been really excited to help move her stuff around while we while we do upgrades for her as well, which I think that's a good trade-off. You might have to move some things around, shuffle around, but then you basically get a brand new house inside. So good for everybody. So just kind of going into that. Again, mortgage interest, that was about $6,000 for the year. And I do want to point out, I am including this in net operating income. And I'm sure everyone's thinking, hey, you shouldn't include debt in your net operating income, which is correct. In the sense, the definition of net operating income, you do not include your debt expense in it. I just wanted to include all of our expenses because I do talk a lot about refinancing, just different kind of mortgage opportunities that we've taken. So I wanted to just include that. It's kind of like a catch-all, just for the sake of example. So just wanted to point that out. Repairs was about, 700,000. Taxes, oh my goodness, $392 for the year. So, um, that's pretty wild to me that they're only $392 for the year. Fast forward to 2022, taxes increased to $780 for the year, and I think that I just got my tax bill for this house. I think it's about the same. So, um, you know, that's quite a big increase, but it was very, very low for the first bit. And then we did do a bill back for trash. So I have $240 for utilities, but the tenant repaid us, so that's back up in rental income. So um, all in all, again, we have a net operating income of negative $185 for the year, which I just want to highlight. We had zero of our own dollars in this property, and we're making fixes while the tenant was living in there. So, this isn't tax advice, but because the property was in service, most of these expenses we're able to, include as operating expenses, not the flooring or anything, but like the paint, some of the appliance replacements, that sort of thing. We were able to expense those. So that's why they're being reflected here. A negative $185 for the year to, start really renovating this house and having $0 into it. I'm pretty happy with it. Same thing for 2019. And as you can see, our rent's going up slow and steady. So, again, 2018, it was like 11,000 for the year. Ended in 2022 for 15,700 for the year. So it's pretty good. We're just slowly increasing rent on this property. It's definitely still pretty significantly below market value. But again, we have that long-term tenant in there, so not gonna really rock the boat there. Again, 2019, that year we did pretty substantial improvements to the property as well, renovations. So I remember we replaced a lot of the closet doors, if I recall. I think that was this year. They had those like old bifold doors that were just really falling apart. So we actually got really nice hinge doors installed in all the closets and the interiors and everything. So that definitely made a really good improvement to the house, I think. So same thing, we're working to just improve this house. Ending the year with negative $1,400. So again, just kind of chugging along on this one. So 2020 was pretty similar. Ended the year on negative 270. Then in 2021, that was really interesting. So we were able to do a cash out refi on the property, and we were able to take out a pretty substantial amount of money. I can't even remember what it was at this point. So I know the house now is worth about 290, 295 probably. So I think at that time, maybe it was in the low twos. So I think it was about 40 or 50,000 we were able to take out and redeploy elsewhere. But the main point was that we were able to get a pretty low interest rate. So the mortgage payment did not really change too much, even though we were able to extract, equity in the form of cash out of this property. So that was kind of exciting, I thought. And then, increasing the rent. So we're kind of like, we hit a good pace at this point is kind of how I see it. So 2021, it took like 3 or 4 years to get to this point. We got rent at a good rate. I would say we're in the reasonable territory now, as opposed to like very, very under market value. We were able to recalibrate this loan again, pulling out, $40,000-$50,000 and drastically lowering the interest rate so that our mortgage payment was pretty much the same, which I think that's pretty cool that when you're able to do that. And then we just didn't have a lot of renovations that we're doing at this point, or repairs. Like we got the house in the state that we liked, and we got, kind of the operations of the house in a state that we like. So we actually walked away with about $6,400 for 2021. So that's pretty cool. last year, kind of the same thing, is really just this house is kind of on autopilot now. And again, just to highlight, it took like 3 or 4 years to get to that point. Um, and so, rental income went up again. Everything else is just kind of steady. We did have a bunch of repairs. I'm trying to remember. I think like the fence blew over in a few sections, or just kind of weird stuff. So we did have quite a high repair budget that year, about $2,000. But still, we walked away with about $5,000 for that year. Could have been more if we didn't have those weird repair things happen, but that does happen. So just wanted to kind of go back and highlight that people might be thinking, why would you buy this house if you're negative cash flow for your first 3 years? So we're negative cash flow, or negative operating income of $1,800 total for the first 3 years. But we since made it up. 2021, 2022, we're in the black at $9,500 cumulative for the lifetime. But don't forget, we were able to extract like $40,000, $50,000 in the cash out refinance, and we had $0 of our own funds in the property. So, just highlighting $0 in, we're able to extract equity to redeploy elsewhere, and we're positive about $9,500 for the lifetime of this property. So I would expect 2021, 2022 performance to be similar here on out, because the property is in great shape right now. We did a lot to it during those first few years. We kind of have that mortgage stabilized. So we just have a lot of, we put a lot of work into it, but now I think it's more of that, well-oiled machine that I think will kind of carry us on for years to come. So yeah, just wanted to kind of, it's a different approach. Like, I think a lot of people don't often think about keeping, a long-term tenant in and kind of working around them, as opposed to just, starting over from a clean slate. This is the way that we chose to do it. We've done it, kind of both ways before, but I like this. As long as everyone's on board, of course, living in kind of a construction zone and whatnot. But it worked out well for everyone. I think now that, that same tenant, even though she's living in the same house, it looks completely different from from when we bought it. So it's kind of fun to see that. So yeah, just wanted to kind of highlight this one. This one's kind of like the Steady Eddie property, like definitely took a little bit to get up and going. But once we finally hit our stride about 2 years ago, I think that this one's going to be, knock on wood, a good property and an easy property from here on out. So just wanted to share this version with everyone. Thanks, everyone.